full, rich. Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com, and today we have this Scapa Glansa here on my cask. It's vintage 2016. It's roughly 60 euros, pounds, and has 40% ABV. And unfortunately, it does not carry an age statement. They're just telling about the vintage, so the date of the bottling, but not when it was distilled. I visited Scapa in 2004, and they were just renovating the distillery and started production late 2004, I think. And Scapa got famous with its 14 years old bottling, which sold for half the price and was a gem. Then the proprietors changed at the Scapa distillery, and they stopped the 14 years old and moved to a 16-year-old with an incredible price. And today they brought two new ones, the Skiren, I think I took a video of that as well, and this Glansa with the same price as the 16 years old had, and the 16 years old was doubled in price to over 100, 120, 130. So really expensive. I think the amount of whiskies in the warehouses are quite low, and so they have to get the maximum out of the stocks they have for having cash flow to produce more and more. And when they started in 2004, there should be enough whiskey in the warehouses that we can see a 10-year or 12-year-old in the upcoming future. Here they say Glansa. Glansa is a Norse word, shining storm-laden skies. So the Orkney Islands, they were formerly in possession of the Nordic people from Norway, which wasn't called Norway then. And then I think they were handed over to the Scots as a gift to a wedding. Yeah, I think so. So the Scottish king married, I think, a Nordic princess and got the islands with her. GL01 batch. So we will see several batches then, and bottled in August 2016. And the specialty here is the peated whiskey cask finish. What's that? Well, you take a whiskey cask which contained peated whiskey, and if you dump that whiskey for bottling, you take those casks and fill in unpeated whiskey so that this whiskey can acquire the taste of the peatiness from the whiskey before. There had been some experiments in the industry before with this type of maturation, but if you think about the amount of peated whiskey in such a cask, which is 1, maximum 2% left over in the porous walls, the staves, then you will have 1% or 2% peated whiskey in the final finished whiskey. And if it was a very intense peated whiskey, like 50 ppm, then 1% is half a ppm and 2% would be 1 ppm. And I think the detection level from which on you're able to taste peat is somewhere at 3 to 4, 2 to 3 ppm. And the very light peated whiskey have 3 to 5 or 6 ppm, and over 15 the peat is present, and over I say 25, then the peat is so strong that you have to wait a while until you are able to taste aromas behind the immense peat. Taking our signature smooth, fruity single malt, which is aged in American oak, this expression is then rested in peated cask, creating richness and depth. with notes of warm heather honey and soft fruit, giving way to a subtle smoky finish. And blur, blur, blur. Yeah. Here we go. Unfortunately, I think this bottle is colored because this is ex-bourbon cask maturation and not for no smoke, too long time. And the color of this one is nearly exactly the same as the 16 years old. Full, rich, deep fruit, some caramel, and yeah, probably a little peaty. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. So this is the detection level where it's very close to. Honey, heather honey, yeah. And pleasant. Yeah. There is a Skiren, called Skiren whiskey on the market from Scapa as well. And I remember that as a good one, and this smells really good. And then in the taste, yeah, there might be some peatiness shining through, yeah. Man, now it's gone. So I'm not quite sure how old this one is. So there is a light, yeah, either it's peat or it's youthness. Can't tell you. The aftertaste shows just caramel, very little vanilla. And the full and rich aroma. This is where the whiskey lives from. The taste is not overwhelming. It's, well, the aftertaste is not too long. So this whiskey lives from the aroma and then giving way to a lighter taste and to a relatively short aftertaste. I think this whiskey would live up with 3% ABV more and probably a few years more. Yeah. So I have no idea if the Scapa distillery is already producing peated whiskey as well. So a little peat in the mixture, definitely a good idea for Scapa. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned, there's more to come, and as always, feel free to share this video with a friend.